A very good morning to everyone. My name is Hani, and today I'll be sharing with you my study on how to better engage our students through the virtual learning environment. Well, I've chosen engagement as the focus of my study because, as we all know, engagement is a very much sought after outcome in teaching as well as in learning. Because it is believed that learning improves tremendously when students are engaged, and higher engagement will thereby lead to higher interest. As such, this study looks at how effective is virtual learning in promoting student engagement. Virtual learning is very wide. So under virtual learning, I've actually chosen blended learning platform to assess the effectiveness of it in promoting student engagement. The focus of my study is on language learning. And as you know, language learning involves the mastery of skills. It is about putting together words in the proper sequence. It is about understanding what has been said to you and being understood by others. And to achieve all this requires a lot of practice as well as participation. How about factors affecting engagement? Okay, these are some of the factors. The more common one will be fear. There's a lot of fear in our students, fear of not giving the correct answer, fear of looking weird or awkward. And there are also those who are very shy about being very participative, being very vocal, or sharing their answers. And all this actually point to their lack of confidence. So, can virtual learning then help to overcome these factors? And thereby, if we are able to remove them, can can it then lead to a better engagement? Okay, so can flipping the classroom, for example, overcome this lack of confidence? Okay, for those who are shy, can the e-learning platform overcome their fear? How about blended learning? Is it also able to achieve the same effect? I would like to share with you a quote that says that a class with high levels of participation becomes a powerful learning machine. So we can see that participation is very important, and participation is an example of engagement. But we can't achieve this if we do not remove the factors that affect participation. For example, I mentioned earlier about fear and shyness. So how can we improve participation, and how can we also improve or increase engagement? Learning with technology. Okay, so there are many platforms, there are many ways to actually use technology as an aid to for teaching as well as learning. Okay, we have the e-learning, which is actually an interaction between students and teachers carried out online. And then we also have online learning, in which we use technology or tools to aid learning. And sometimes we hear about learning. This is actually learning using mobile devices. Flipped learning is also very popular. It is about flipping the classroom model. And then we have blended learning, which is about marrying the traditional as well as the flipped classroom model. So this is a graphic, okay, an illustration of how blended learning is carried out. So under blended learning, it counts on face-to-face, okay, and during the face-to-face sessions, we will optimize our time here to explain concepts, to clarify doubts, and then we will also supplement with online lesson. So more on blended learning. Content is very important in blended learning, and you must always be online. And it is about blending face-to-face presentation, which focus on the know-how and behavior skills. So the strategies for effective blended learning will be you have to reduce the number of in-class meetings, okay, and then you will replace these sessions with online interactive learning activities. It's not to supplement, but it is to replace. You have to give careful consideration as to why the classes need to meet face to face and how often, if they need to meet face to face, how often must it be carried out. And under blended learning, it is assumed that certain activities can be better accomplished online, okay, whether it is individually or in small groups than in face to face. Okay, some background about this study. It involves undergraduates who are learning Malay as a foreign language. They are learning it as a level 1 course, which means that they have no previous knowledge of the language, and they are assessed on 4 language competencies: the speaking, writing, listening, and speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Yes, and they are also assessed on their oral skills, and we have role play activities to assess their oral skills. We have about 20 students in our tutorial group. Okay, we have several tutorial groups. It involves about, each group will have about 20 students. Okay, for this study, it involves 26 students who are taking 3 hours of learning Malay per week for a duration of 12 weeks. They are exposed to 3 types of blended learning, which I will explain later on. And there is also the end of course assessment as well as the feedback form. So I mentioned that they have been exposed to 3 types of blended learning. The first one, it actually combines the online with face-to-face instruction. So we had a pre-class online activity in which students had to watch a video before coming to class, and this video actually explains concepts and meanings of the component of the language that is going to be discussed in class, and then it also shows examples. And during the face-to-face sessions, students are given the opportunity to seek clarifications, and they also took part in role play activities. Okay, the outcome of such an approach is that we find students were more willing to participate in class, perhaps because of the online teaching that has been carried out before their face-to-face sessions. In the second blended learning lesson, we actually began with the face-to-face classroom instructions, and then we had a post-class activity in which students were made to complete an online quiz and written exercise. And we actually uploaded content to help them in completing their post-class activity. The outcome of such an approach is that students can pace their learning better. In the third approach, using blended learning, we had a pre-class activity in which students had to watch a video on healthy lifestyle, and then they had to complete a group project, and this activity is called the task-based learning. They were given a task which is to work on a healthy recipe, and then upload their healthy recipe or their project. And we actually supplemented it with face-to-face sessions where students discuss the projects that they had worked on earlier. And the outcome of this approach is that students display better teamwork and they had better ownership on their learning. More on the findings of the study, we noticed that there is a higher participation from students, and they displayed higher confidence level. They actually performed better in their role play assessments owing to their higher confidence level, and they also performed better in written tasks, and they were more interested in their learning. So if you look at the percentages, so these are the findings. When asked if the blended learning has helped them to learn better, you can see that most of them, okay, actually agreed on it. That it has helped them to learn better, it has helped them to learn more, okay, and it has actually provided them more time for interaction in class. Okay, they all agreed, 100% of them agreed to that. And then it actually gave them more time for role play activities. Okay, and they also felt that the approach has increased their interest in learning. And then we also asked about the use of the videos, and the students said that it actually helped them to participate in the class activities better. And the videos also actually helped them to better understand the language used. And 92% of the students said that the online activities actually helped them to reflect their learning and also to pace their learning. And a whopping 100% of the respondents said that they are more confident to participate in class activities, and they also participated more in class activities owing to the online activities. So from this study, we can see some of the advantages of using virtual learning, that learning actually can take place all the time. Okay, and it also actually promotes self-directed learning and enables students to reflect on their learning. And as a result, students came to class more prepared, and we find that the whole approach is more appealing to students. But of course, there are also challenges, and one is about preparing quality videos. Okay, because we use the videos as a teaching resource, so the videos must be very good quality in terms of the content. And you need more time, okay, to prepare for your lesson. And there must be very good alignment between the online and the classroom activities as well as the resources. And actually, it is also quite a challenge to get students to watch the videos and complete their online activities, because the reasons they cited is that they just do not have the time. Well, that's all for my presentation today. Thank you for listening and watching, and I wish you a great day ahead. Thank you once again.